Hey guys, it's Reefr Isn't Real and we're back with another trip. Today's trip report is a bit different and interesting. Quite the combo where this guy ingested DMT and methamphetamine at 250 milligrams of DMT and he shot up 50 milligrams of meth. This report is by Niyat Sovak, and well, here is the report. So I am almost daily user of IV methamphetamine. It has been my drug of choice for the last 4 years, 31 years old currently. Prior to my meth use, I was mainly a pothead and would do psychedelics once every couple months. Now I have always liked to push the limits of any substance I used. I smoked a quarter oz of weed a day, did 10g plus mushroom trips, 20 hits of LSD at once. I've candy flipped and hippie flipped many times. I've done ketamine and cocaine. And now with meth, I'll easily shoot a half gram or better at a time. No matter what it was or how much I did, I was always comfortable and under control of myself. Never had any issues with psychosis or delusions. Was always grounded firmly in reality. So naturally, when I had the opportunity to try DMT for the first time, I was pumped and went in head first. My first experience was with a vape cart, and I took 5 full long hits, holding them for 10 seconds each, and even though I was blasting into hyperspace by the third, I still made 4 and 5 happen. I had the full breakthrough experience, the instant crystallization of colors and geometry waving through my vision, followed by a hum rising from silence to a deafening roar, my consciousness coming out of myself as an entity, danced in fourth dimensional motions, beckoning me forth, surrounding, pervaded by what I can best describe as prismatic light bent into tubes, folding in on themselves like a tesseract. I looked down and see the way my soul was interfacing with my body. Almost as if I was looking at the inside of a mask I had pulled from my face. I remained here until I returned to my body, still tripping harder than any acid trip, yet feeling sober due to the large drop off from where I was. I immediately lost my fear of death. I had achieved an inner peace I had long been searching for. I fell in love with DMT that moment and began using it often. Now I continue to achieve breakthroughs with my use, but it wasn't every time and actually became less frequent the more I used. Quick break, but no shit, dipshit. And on the occasion I would have a good breakthrough. It always seemed like it was less intense or less long-lasting than the first couple times, so I started chasing it more. Quick break, this is a terrible idea. Do not fucking chase the dragon of DMT. But back to the report. Looking back, I do think now that I was being denied entry on many occasions, whether it be from my other drug use interfering, or because I needed to reflect on what I was supposed to have learned and wasn't doing so. One morning, after being up all night shooting meth, I decided to try and shoot DMT. Little did I know, because of lack of research, that DMT freebase isn't water soluble. So my attempt didn't work and just left me with DMT stuck in a syringe. I go to sleep after this, and when I wake, I prep a shot of meth in the rig with DMT in it, not really remembering or thinking about the DMT, As it turns out, meth in solution with water can dissolve DMT and bring it into solution as well. And when I hit my shot, which this one, if I had to guess, was about 2/10 a gram of meth and maybe 50 milligrams of DMT, I was taken by surprise when the characteristic cough that comes along with shooting meth. I immediately felt the pull into hyperspace, and it was strong. Almost instantly I bypassed the first initial stages and was completely out of on the astral plane. By this point it was one of the best breakthroughs I've ever had experienced. Crystal clear, very distinct, very strong visions and sensations. And when I came back, I was eager to step it up. And me being me, decided I was going to do it again for science, but with the knob turned to 10. So maybe an hour or two later, I prep another shot. This time I put a 1/4 gram of DMT in the barrel and just the barest amount of meth that I can use to make it dissolve, which was about 50 milligrams. I decided I didn't want any distractions with this one, so I go and sit in my bathroom alone, door closed, and noise cancelling earbuds in. I was going to be given this my full attention, so I get the needle in my vein and I begin to push. In the solution, the shot was right at 50 units. I push it all the way in to about 10 units left to go, and my vision gets hit so hard that I immediately rip the needle out my arm and threw it on the ground. But before I saw it hit the floor, I was racing at light speed through hyperspace. I can only remember a few distinct details. The first is that it was so intense and overwhelming that I lost all touch with reality. Not only did I lose my sense of self, but I lost the concept of existence, and every one of my senses was gone, and I had what I could only describe as a breakthrough out of a breakthrough. Where we normally go when we break through, I was there for a fleeting moment before pushing past it into a black void I could only describe as hell. Although I was in this black emptiness, there was this sinister energy there, laughing at me, watching my torment, amused by my utter confusion and fear, and I was here for an extremely long time. What brought me back to reality? First, my sense of touch. I reached out and felt my chest with one hand and my head with the other, and as soon as I felt them, I gripped a death hold on both, afraid to let go as I might lose myself again had I done so. I then opened my eyes and was still underneath a sea of acid-like visuals, still with no concept of self or any concept of what was around me. I felt small and stupid, as if a human now forced into the body and mind of an ant. It took me 5 to 10 more minutes of sitting there staring at my feet, drilling on myself, for basically understanding of anything began to return. And then slowly things came back, but as they came back, all I could think or feel was how utterly strange and stupid existence as human beings is. The fact that we have to eat and drink and sleep and piss and shit and fuck and come and breathe is so alien and gross to me, as I remember each one. And then to realize how self-centered and egotistical we all are, with how weird and gross and small we all truly are, was all very difficult to swallow, until it quickly normalized as I returned to baseline. I was left with an extreme appreciation that I made it back, that I'm alive, that I am not only alive, that I am myself, and then I still have time to be myself for now. I have been sober since that moment. I have gone cold turkey of everything, and not because of fear, but because there is no longer any drive within me to use anything. Just being alive and being myself, my sober self, is what I truly desire in my heart now. Now I feel like in the future I may use drugs again, may do DMT again, but I will never to the extreme that I did that day. For now, however, I am content, I am at peace. I will say I don't recommend anybody do what I did. If you do, just know that going into it, it will be a completely life-altering experience. One that someone even as mentally strong and experienced as myself almost didn't come back from. So I try and risk.